Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. So this morning, let's have a conversation as we always do. This cost of living protests, call it hardship protests, whatever. In a sense, anything but bad governance protests, but that might be arguable. So let's talk about the cost of living protests. It has a number of other names. So what exactly is going on? That's really the question. It was supposed to be a protest, and well, there are those who still would define it as a protest, but then suddenly we began to see different offshoots of the same thing. Where Lagos seemed to be, by and large, fine, in the sense that just looking at the papers this morning, businesses open in peaceful Lagos, but bank looting over in Kaduna, military is talking tough. And that is because you saw those pictures of some people actually flying Russian flags. The people in the Russian embassy have been quick to say that it has nothing whatsoever to do with us. We don't know anything about this. We're not in any way, shape, or form concerned. But we've seen no doubt on social media, you'd have seen tailors, churning out these Russian flags. This has prompted the military. The military have now told us that, that's a treasonable act and we are on the tails of those kind of people. And then it even goes worse. People are talking, that is, some of those protesters are talking about, well, some of those improbable things that they were asking about in the first instance. This whole protest, they want a return to fuel subsidy. For example, I think that's the main one. And there are those who are saying that, look, these things, that it's not rocket science. But perhaps, as we were saying yesterday on the program, government could have done a bit of a better job on explaining these issues. By the time the president came into office, there were no funds for, what do you call it? There were no funds for this fuel subsidy. Simply not. At the very, very best, maybe till the end of June, and that was it. So it doesn't matter who had come into office. It happened to be the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is the situation we'd have had on our hands, and because it is doing us some good. That kind of talk is not really going to go down well with some people who want an instantaneous fix. And this is where we are. So on this fifth day, is it fifth or sixth day of the protest, we have not heard a conclusive voice from those who are organizing the protest to say that, what, I think we can fold our tents and go back home now, and everything will be okay. In fact, there were curfews in some states in the north that seems to have borne the brunt of all of this. There were cases where the military, the government in those areas had, proclaimed a curfew, and there were people who were actually defying the curfew. Now, when we say people, you look at these people, they're children. They're children. So you begin to wonder, what is going on? Because these children don't even know what the issues are. They don't know what they're protesting about. The occasional brave reporter has sought from some of them, what is this about? What do you think it's about? All they are doing is that they're carrying stones and indeed throwing these stones at law enforcement. So it's in that context that we'll be asking this morning, what exactly is going on now? Is this a protest? And this is going on against the backdrop of warnings. As there were assurances given that, yep, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria does guarantee its citizens the right to peaceful protest. However, they must be lawful. And where they are not is where they begin to, infringe on our insecurity and begin to worry people, scare people, cost us a lot of money, cost us lives and limbs. And what if this is really a protest, and if it was warned about that protests in Nigeria are known to go south pretty quickly. Even Ebun Olu Onogorua, is that? Yeah, Ebun Olu Onogorua. Yeah, that's right. That's his compound surname, Ebun Oluonogorua, at one point was saying that it should just be one day and please go back home. Nobody, well, he hasn't got the response he would have liked, going by all the news. And so you begin to look at when the people are saying that it's okay to start a protest, but are you sure you can stop it when you need to? For the moment, let me just pause here and bring on, and please keep your calls coming, because we want to know, the question is, what exactly is going on now? Well, Mr. George from Ikeja is on the line. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Uncle Yori, what is going on, we all know it's not about protest or about hunger. It's about disgruntled elements in the society who could not win elections on the ballot and want to overthrow the government at all costs. I have said it a number of times on this program, and I have every evidence to believe that that is the case. Uncle Yori, show me one country where there have been economic reforms that did not come with pay. Our neighbor here, Ghana, they went through economic turmoil for over 11 years. Did you see them on the streets like this? Did you see them destroying the little that was left? They struggled and managed to overcome it. Today, they are better off for it. If you say you are hungry, what is the cause of the hunger? Everybody is blaming President Tinubu, but nobody seems to be talking about what he has done. Although the government has some blame in the process. Even myself, as a political watcher on Koyori, when the president read out his achievements within this 1 year during that broadcast, I discovered that I did not know about 30% of the things he has done. So the communication between the government and the people is not yet there.
Okay.
I have said it, I've suggested it before. There should be everyday press briefing about what the government is doing. That's what is done in other advanced democracies.
Yeah.
Especially in this age of social media, where people just manufacture news for their own purpose and sell it, and then they have ready-made buyers.
Indeed. I hear you, Mr. George. Well, sorry, was there some more? I wanted to sort of come in and give other people rooms to call in as well. And also,
okay.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. And also to say that, you know, we have been sort of cautioned, commentators have cautioned that one should be careful about glibly putting it all down to opposition politics, especially as you started off, Mr. George, by saying that those who didn't, co-contestants that didn't win, you sort of silently fingering them that they might be at the bottom of this. I think you yourself must have heard of people saying that we need to be very careful about that because it could be oversimplifying the matter. But there is absolutely no way that we don't see here that there are those who are not interested in just a protest. After all, what is the objective of a protest? That is to get the attention of government. Now, President Tinubu has spoken. And even in that, there have been complaints about when did he speak and what did he say. But there you go. A lot of Nigerians might indeed be, the same thing with you, that I didn't even know. There are 30% of those things that I didn't know about. So the government can definitely do a much better job of communicating with us. That's just to make that commentary. There are those who are saying that to put it all down to the opposition could be to sort of be oversimplifying the matter. There is clearly a hardship in the land in terms of the cost of living and getting on with our lives. But is this what we have now? Is this that? Mr. Mohammed in Abuja, good morning to you, sir. They told me that Mohammed was on the line from Abuja, but is he still there?
I'm hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you.
Okay, I have invited you to please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we listened to Mr. President on Sunday.
Yeah. We can hear you. Continue.
Yeah, is it Saturday or Sunday? I think on Sunday.
That's right.
Morning, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, all the programs he rolled out were very much appreciated. But what we are saying is that the president should do more. We voted for him. Surely, wallahi, Uncle Yori, I've never voted. It's only this time around that I voted for Tinubu. I can swear with Quran, I'm a Muslim. I have never voted in my life. But because of this Muslim ticket that we believe is coming with justice, equity, fairness to his people. Because anything Muslim, because that is how the Prophet lived. He don't sleep until when all his people ate. The Prophet lived with Muslims, with Jews, with Christians in Medina at that time. He even lived with those that are not believers. And he made sure all of them distribute the wealth to each and every organization or group equally. And he made sure they live peacefully in very well. But what we are seeing today is different from what Muslim ticket is all about. What we are asking the president to do is that this money he's giving to governors, he should not give them that money. He should at least pay the subsidy, even if he's not going to pay all, he should pay half. So that, because everybody knows that this fuel subsidy removal is the cost of everything. For him to announce only and say today, fuel has come back to 500 naira, I swear to God, everything will come down. Just 500 is not. He should not say he removed the fuel subsidy. It's just for president to announce that today fuel is going to be sold at 500 naira. I swear to Almighty God, everything will come down. Just 500. We are not saying that he should come back to 100 or 200 or 300 naira. The president only to say, because Nigerians are working with this is perception. We are talking of perception management.
Okay. The
people listen to the president and then take cue from there. Wallahi, if the marketers hear that the president says fuel today is 500, nobody will say no. Please, the president should look into it. Copy the prophet his copy, because Muslim ticket is talking about justice, fairness, equity, and whatever good life.
All right.
Please, he should implicate it. He should replicate it, please.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Mohammed. And, you know, this is part of the situation that we have. And that's why we really are inviting calls to come in. So we should sort of get a sense of what do people think is going on here? Our friend, Mr. Mohammed from Kano there, he brought up the election issue. In fact, the candidature, the Muslim ticket, it went into some religious aspects. And then one begins to wonder how it is that we understand this. Because I don't know that there has been any religious connotation to this whole matter at all. We saw in Kano, we saw pictures of attacks on at least one mosque. And that is almost inconceivable, but it did happen. So why would Muslims be attacking mosques reportedly? So you see, one doesn't quite get how this is coming about. There is hardship, of course, there is hardship. As to going to the president, maybe too many people don't understand, cannot by fiat pronounce a price. He cannot say fuel is now going to be this or that, coming from where it is now. Although there have been critics of that whole idea, it was said that fuel, the pump price of fuel was going to be dictated largely by market considerations, and that we could not continue to make up by way of subsidy that which would have been lost by the false pump price that we hitherto were adopting. It's a very difficult thing because it does take money out of people's pockets, so to speak. But I don't think we have understood it or informed ourselves enough. Certainly the presidency probably hasn't done as much as it can, that these are things that we don't have any wiggle room over. The money is not there. Maybe you can't be blander than that. The money simply isn't there, is what has been explained to us. But here we are. Mr. Mohammed has suggested that, look, if the president can do him this one favor, then a lot of things will, go back the right way up. Well, I don't know. Okay, how do you explain, and I'm not asking this of Mohammed in particular, how do you explain the Russian flags? How does anybody explain foreign flags on our soil? How does anybody explain the young men that are saying, Mr. Putin, referring to the president over there, we need you, we need your help? What is going on? Who is behind these people? Who is sponsoring those flags? You might have seen tailoring workshops where these flags are being churned out. Who is sponsoring? Who is paying? Who is paying these people to do this? Well, the military say that they are after them. In fact, they say they have arrested some. But these are very, very, very concerning issues if this was actually a protest. How did protest about our cost of living being very tight, how did it morph into inviting foreign, governments to come to into our matter? I have another call. Is it from Bauchi? Who is on the line? Mr. Hassan. Good morning, Hassan, in Bauchi.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. So how do you see it? What do you, Hassan, think is going on here?
Yeah, good morning, sir. What I think here is the handiwork of mischief makers, miscreant. Honestly, protest is only meant to express your anger or what you are protesting for, while it takes a dimension of demonstration, which is not the value of this country. And the leadership and the political leaders, the terms of the hardship we are experiencing, coming into the term of understanding the political nature of this protest. Thirdly, if you can see correctly, as you said, people are putting which is offense and think has an ulterior motive, and which I urge our security agencies to dig down with the intelligence gathering and know what happens. Then they can now expect a lot of things and let us have truth. Mr. President, look at what he said. He gives pushing it down to the governors, and the governors are not happy with what happened because of the autonomy of local government given by the press. The cost of money is coming, and now try to this country so that the hardship will now be less, the anger will now come less, so that everything will come to the common man on the street very easy. If you look at the issue of this particular fuel subsidy, it is not even started from the current administration. It started from the previous administration, which there was an extension of additional budget up to June. When the Mr. President came in and now saw it coming, then during the transition committee, he has to act and tell the whole world that subsidy is not here again. That is the truth. Now, Nigerians are protesting. Governors are not helping matters. If you look at it, it is not even division between religious or ethnic group. It is division that hunger get us together.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate your call. That hunger is bringing us together. Remember when the first caller came on, Mr. George, I had said that we have to be careful about putting all this whole thing down to politics, because we don't have incontrovertible evidence. Let's just stay like that and not just jump on it. But when you look at the things that are going on, it's not a far-fetched place that is a far-fetched notion. Otherwise, how did cost of living, tight cost of living, harsh cost of living prices, how did that morph into inviting Russia? And in fact, I think there was another country, the country escapes me now, that was also involved, that was seen somewhere in Jos, and it just doesn't add up. But we are just being careful here because we have to be sensitive to all concerned. And so that's why I'm not going to say on this program that this is the work of political naysayers or, the opposition. I don't know. It might well be, it might not be. But that's not where the focus here. The question is, what exactly is going on now? We have tailoring workshops, churning out Russian flags. We have people, we have youth. We have youth, very young people, very, very young people. We're talking about people that are not even 20, that are taking charge of the protest. We have people who, in the north especially, who don't know what the issues are, but they're out there. They're taking it as some sort of a fiesta, almost like an Egungun festival, but a very dangerous one. I have someone in from, where is that caller coming in from?
I'm calling from Jos.
Oh, you're calling from Jos. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes.
Tony, good morning.
How are you?
Very good. Very good, sir. What do you think is going on here in our country?
Well, it's not a hidden thing. We all know that cost of living is high. You understand me? It's not a hidden thing. A black man can see it. But what caused the cost of living? That is what we fail to ask ourselves. What caused the cost of living? What caused hardship in this country? We fail to ask ourselves. Was there Boko Haram during Obasanjo's regime in 1999? Was there Boko Haram throughout Obasanjo's regime for 8 years? Was there a hardship? Was there all manner of criminality we see in this country? Was there like that during Obasanjo 1999 as a civilian president? You see that after Obasanjo handed over government to Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Nigerians developed Boko Haram from Maiduguri. And that Boko Haram was within the north, from Umaru Musa Yar'Adua to Jonathan. They were disturbing farmers in the north, doing all manner of things they are doing, stopping farmers from going to their farmland to cultivate food for Nigerians. When issues of this happens, and we cannot collectively arrest it at the beginning of it, that's what we are starting, the consequence we are seeing today. And when Buhari came in for his 8 years, this is spread all over the state, all over the state of the country, all over the local government of the country. Boko Haram is disturbing farmers, asking farmers to come and pay dues before they can access their land. So, can food come from heaven when farmers are no longer on their farmland? And today we are talking of hardship. I think probably that hardship started today. That hardship started within a year. Even from Plateau here, we knew how they raised many houses, put innocent people as IDP. You understand me? Take over their land. You understand me? Take over their land they are cultivating. In Plateau here, they are known for potato and Irish in large quantity. When they started taking them from their farmland, they cannot produce enough again. And today we are talking of what do you call it? Hardship, all manner of things. It's unfortunate for this country for not to stick to issues in the name of politics.
Okay.
All right. In the name of politics.
Well,
I think we are talking enough on all these issues. Why should we be?
Well, thank you very much for calling in. But let's return to the main matter and, valuable insights that you've given. But let's return to the main matter about this protest. What is a protest by definition? Is it to scatter the whole place? Is it to turn the whole country upside down? Is it to begin to threaten a constitutionally elected government with all sorts of undemocratic behavior and endings? Is that the purpose of a protest? Of course not. Nobody will say that that is it. In fact, maybe the simplistic way to look at it is that it's to call the attention of government to issues, and that has been done. The president has said that he is called. He has always made himself available. He still is available. ECOWAS have joined with that plea. You might have seen in the papers that ECOWAS has also joined in the plea that Nigerians should please listen to their president and heed to his invitation that, look, I am here. Here we are. Let there be dialogue. But then that's another problem. I don't know how many people want to come out and say that, yep, we are the people, since the whole mob out there can't come for dialogue. So we don't even know for sure. We don't know for sure who exactly you want to talk to. But nevertheless, the leadership, the presidency has said that, President Tinubu, never mind the presidency, has said that he's available for dialogue. But he's going to have to dialogue with some people, with someone. We don't know who that is. So it goes back to the question, what is going on? It was supposed to be a 10-day protest. I don't know. Here we are, day 6, whatever. We don't have a situation, apart from Lagos that we cited and some other places, where they are slowly returning back to normal. But the waste, the carnage, the president pointed out, we're going to have to spend money on these things. We're going to have to replace them. You can't replace the lives that have been lost. And these things were warned about, you know, excruciatingly, painfully. So it was warned about. Those who were in charge didn't listen. And now those lives